welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelly. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday or Sunday. This might be posting a day later. I welcome you to my channel. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of it. I went for a nice long walk outside today, and it was just a beautiful day, and I'm in North America, so if you're watching this at the time the video posts, I went out and I got to enjoy the beautiful fall scenery. And it's interesting, I pull a card for myself every day. This is a meditation deck that I use, and this was really the scene when I was walking out today. It was so lovely. It was just really beautiful, nice chilly weather, and it's interesting. One of the decks has some sea glass on it, and I went ahead and I wore a sea glass necklace that a coworker had given to me as a gift, and it's really beautiful. As you know, I'm a writer, astrologer, and a card reader, so what I like to do, as funny as it sounds, is I kind of like to look at the chart. Like, I like to look at the daily planets, and I can look at the planets and say, oh, okay, the sun's in Scorpio, the moon's in Pisces, and I actually have this chart that shows all of the color schemes for each of the signs, each of the zodiac signs. So sometimes I like to pair up what I'm wearing that day, like the color scheme. I do also have a color deck that, there's a deck that is nothing but colors that I can, if I pull a certain color, I might say, oh, okay, let me wear that color as part of my energy for the day. Actually, I pulled one today. Let's see. Well, my color was Aqua for my card, but because it was a Pisces moon and a Scorpio sun, I decided to go ahead and wear a bunch of really dusty, kind of muted purples. And it was really comfortable, a lot of grays and silvers and, purples and stuff like that. So that's one way to really kind of get into your energy. If you pull cards or if you study astrology, you can kind of, get an idea of what colors would really kind of, tune into your energies for the day. But okay, guys, enough blabbing. Sorry about that. Also, you'll notice that my nails are a little bit shorter. What was happening is I broke this one nail, and then my thumbnail was getting really long, so I had a few talons, and then it's the weather's getting colder, so I decided to go ahead and clip everything, so we can shuffle without any interference. But alright, guys, so as always, we have 3 decks that we haven't seen in a little while. The first deck is the beautiful Slow Tarot by Lacey, Bryant. And actually, if you follow me over on Instagram, not only will you see some of the pictures that I've been taking on my walks, you get to see all the fall foliage, or what was it, yesterday I saw a beautiful, the clouds were just moving. You know how when you can, even for just 10 seconds, you can see the clouds moving? That was really beautiful, and I posted that clip over on my Instagram. But the author of this deck, her name is Lacey Bryant, and all of the names and the authors of my decks are in the description box, but she also is on Instagram and Facebook. She is an artist in Southern California, and she's an artist at the Modern Eden Gallery. And what happened was, last year she did sculptures for the Chinese New Year. Like, she did a bunch of Taurus, a bunch of bull, the bull, and next year it is the year of the tiger. So if you follow her on Instagram, you'll see that she's wonderfully talented. She does murals on buildings and things. But if you follow her, you're welcome to follow her and just kind of see her artwork. And her deck is available at the gallery's website. But she is working on the tigers. Like, she's starting to carve tigers for next year. So she's already beginning that, because goodness knows we're headed towards the end of the year, right? The middle deck is my beloved Morgan Greer deck. It's my second tarot deck, but the first one that I traditionally learned on. And again, on top of it, we have a beautiful piece of sea glass. And again, I have a purple sea glass necklace on right now, so I'm really feeling that. And then the last deck, I've been meaning to pull this deck out because I love it so much. This is the Vice Versa Tarot by, it's produced by Lo Scarabo. And what it is that this deck has two sides. It doesn't have a formal card back. Each of the back is considered the reversal, so it's double-sided, so it's called the Vice Versa. And on top of it, we have a beautiful piece of petrified wood. So what this is this is not a stone. This is a piece of wood that is very, very old and is petrified, almost like a fossil, almost like amber. But to clarify, since I've been feeling so adventurous, since I've been, I've been in a real good mood. It's been, it's been a lovely time of year. I love fall. I know that it's getting colder and the leaves are falling, but there's such a beauty to it, and there's, the cold breeze and your rosy cheeks and, dressing in layers and, and if you're watching this at the time it posts, we are 6 weeks out. If you celebrate Christmas, we are 6 weeks out from the holiday season, and the end of 2021, that really blows my mind. It's gone by fast. But in that vein, I wanted to go ahead and pull out to clarify. I'm going to use the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. And what this is such a positive deck. All of my decks are really positive, but this one is just such good. Ooh, Voyage of the Heart. Look at that. See, Denise Linn has another deck that is equally beautiful. And but this is such a like an adventurous journeyman's kind of deck. So we're going to clarify using that. And I have other stones that look really good, but for some reason I felt like my little opalite dragonfly was just completely at home on top of that little mandala on the card back. So all right, guys, so enough blabbing. I will go ahead and let you choose your deck. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and move up the other decks. Been meaning to film this video for about 48 hours, and I'm so sorry, guys. It's really starting to. Next week I'm going to be even more sluggish because it's going to be my first full week back at work, and that's going to be an adjustment for me because I've been kind of in vacation mode. So feeling lazy as it is, and now it's going to be back to reality. I'm just going to give this a quick shuffle. So deck number 1, the Slow Tarot, and this is such a pretty deck. What's our energy for the week? Deck number 1. Ooh, okay. Okay, middle of the week, please. Oh gosh, pile number 1. Okay, end of the week. Oh, yay, the star. I love seeing the star. Okay, can I get one card to clarify the 9 of Swords? What are we worried about here? Okay. Yeah, we're getting quite a few kind of big major things going on, guys. So go ahead and what's our Sacred Traveler Oracle card for the day? And here, I'm going to go ahead and put my little fall card here. I do actually have a stand for it. Here we go. Put it up. There you go. Yeah, that'll be our omen, our good juju for the read. You might not be able to see it. It's off there in the corner. All right, so what's our Sacred Traveler? There we go. Oh, Watching Clouds. Oh, gosh. There you go. Oh. Okay, that's such a good sign. And again, these cards are so positive. I love these cards. They just bring a smile to my face. Every single one of them gives you hope, So beginning of the week, we've got the 9 of Swords, and you see somebody who's laying awake in bed, and you see the swords like hanging over their head. I think over the weekend and by the beginning of the week, you're going to be, I think you're up at night really kind of thinking. I think you're worrying. And what's happening, what I'm kind of seeing here is that it looks like you're either worried about some kind of promotion or some kind of, just some kind of advancement. And either that, or this could be some kind of an event like a wedding, or this can also be a house. So what I'm seeing here is with the Six of Coins and the Four of Wands, it's almost like, I don't know if you're worried about like how you're going to pay for a wedding, or this could be where you owe somebody money regarding a house or something for a house. It's like someone is owed what you're owed something, but you're I kind of see this one of two ways. It almost looks like that money it's supposed to be yours, but you don't have it yet. Because I'm really seeing in the background here, you see kind of a horse, a dark horse, and you know, the symbolism of a dark horse. A dark horse is like something that comes out of nowhere, right? It's not, you're not expecting it. It's something that kind of hits you, right? So here I almost get like, this is one of two things. You're either worried about how you're going to pay for some kind of big event. This could be a graduation. It could be, so if you're a parent, maybe you have some kind of graduation expenses, or, this could be some kind of party that you have to kind of like front the money for. If you're a parent and you have a child getting married, and father of the bride, here, I'm gonna get a sip of tea here, guys. But one other way that I can kind of read it here is that maybe you have some kind of pressing expenses, and what, maybe you're doing well at work, maybe you've gotten that promotion at work, but that first paycheck isn't coming yet. Like you've been promoted, you're going to get paid more money, but you kind of have bills that are due now. Either that, or if you had something come out of the woodwork that was kind of unexpected. I can actually speak from personal experience. You know how there's that old joke that that when appliances, like when there's a saying, it's like Murphy's Law, that when something bad happens, it happens in threes. And it was funny. My poor sister. This was very stressful. It was definitely a Nine of Swords moment where. The fridge always had the refrigerator always had a compressor that was a little bit bad, and probably about 5 years ago she replaced the part, and it was like it was like a $50 fix. It was nothing bad, but you could tell that the fridge never really acted the same. Like it was always, you could always tell it was kind of struggling a little bit. And then what happened was the refrigerator broke. We had to throw out all of her food. Then the washer broke, and it was like a sensor on the washer, like it would not, it would, it kept thinking that it had to fill back up again. So all it was doing is it was endlessly filling the tub back up, and it was never spinning the clothes, right? Like the clothes were always just sitting there in a bucket of water. So that happened. So that was number two. And then what was the third thing? There was a third thing that she needed to get fixed. I think her homeowner association made her replace her gate. And it was just like all this stuff coming again, like a dark horse coming out of nowhere, coming out of the from your peripheral vision. Something comes in and it's just like, what the hell? Nobody has money for this. But the other thing that I kind of see here, one other way I can kind of see it is maybe it is a little, you're feeling a little bit of Murphy's Law, where maybe you did just get a promotion, maybe you got some kind of bonus check, and then something broke. Or you had to pay for something, someone's graduating, someone's getting married, and all of a sudden that money is just easy come, hand it right over, easy go, right? But it has you worried. It has you worried. The other thing is that it's those, like, it's kind of like sitting up in the middle of the night with your thoughts racing, like, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to do this? One other way that I can kind of see this is maybe you legitimately owe someone money regarding some kind of home. because the Four of Wands can be like a home situation, and legally you are required to pay this, or that there's something that you owe, and it's really weighing on your mind, like, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm so sorry, pile one. I just really see you worrying in the middle of the night. I see you worrying in the middle of the night. Now, by the middle of the week, this is interesting. We've got the Ten of Wands and we got the Three of Swords. And it's interesting, the temperance didn't exactly come out over this middle of the week. This kind of temperance kind of came out overall. And what you kind of see with temperance is you see someone who's pouring. You see a broken garden window, right? And two women looking completely frazzled, and someone pouring water in between. And it's interesting, in this temperance there are three people, and in the Three of Swords there are three swords. So what I'm seeing here, guys, you know what? This really might be house related or living situation related. It could be work related. I mean, possibly if you own some kind of, if you have shared assets with someone, doesn't have to necessarily be a spouse. It could be a relative. It could be a sibling. It's almost like you're sitting across the table. You see how these two look like twins? Like they have an equal stake in something. But it does almost look like two people are sitting at the table across from each other and they're not really happy about it. But there's a third person that's just trying to calm you might have there might be three people involved in this. One person might be a little bit more of the mediator. One person might be trying to make sure that everybody gets a fair deal. But this is, the Three of Swords does make this an uncomfortable. This is, what I'm seeing here is by the middle of the week, there's sustained pain from some kind of situation that you're trying to balance out. The other thing I kind of see is we go from a 9 to a 10. I think that if you do owe money, or if there's some part of this that you have to be more responsible for, you're trying to make it right, but it's not like you can come up with everything overnight. You're not gonna, if you have to pay for some portion of a house, you can't do that in 1 week, right? But I see that you want to make it right. This is actually one of the most beautiful Ten of Wands cards I've ever seen. You see this man who's older, and he's carrying all these sticks. He almost looks like a construction worker, right? Or a farmer. And he's just carrying that load, and all around him he's got bees, right? I'm hearing worker bee. I think, and you're just toiling away. It's almost like by the middle of the week, you're focusing on what you got to do, even though it feels really like overwhelming. It feels really like you're just working. I'm feeling like slaving away a little bit here, guys. But the middle of the week might be a little bit uncomfortable, pile one. I don't want you to feel like, I don't want you to lose hope, because goodness knows we got the Star coming by the end of the week, and that's the most hopeful card in the deck. So the sky is going to clear soon. Please hang on. You might have kind of a rough hump day. You know that commercial with the camel, guess what day it is? And you're just like, oh God, here, I'll even post it. I have a cute giraffe meme here. I will give you, okay, in the middle of pile one, in the middle of the week, when you're feeling stuck and overworked and tired and just uncomfortable, please look at this meme. You're welcome. It is that giraffe that's just like, okay, camel, go away. Go home, camel, you're drunk. So I'm not laughing at it, but sometimes, you laugh or you cry. And if you're having a tough Wednesday and it feels like, oh gosh, Friday will never get here, Friday will get here, it's okay. And actually that temperance card is really saying that too. So my dear, my poor, my heart is with you. I'm not making light of this. I want to lighten your heart, pile one. By the middle of the week, it's going to be uncomfortable. And you know what I'm almost kind of feeling is I'm feeling like three people have to be involved in something, and you can't solve this problem overnight. all you can do is like plug away. All you can do is do the best that you can, and you are working hard. You're probably actually taking on a little bit more of the lion's share. The 10 of Wands is taking on more than the lion's share. So you might be working to try to fix this situation, but it's terribly uncomfortable. It's almost stinging. I see that with the bees. It's stinging. It's like you're working and you're getting stung, even though you're just trying to lay your foundation. I'm hearing that. I'm trying to lay your foundation. But just know that temperance is working. It may not feel like it. It's gonna feel stinging. That's what I kind of feel. And actually, the two being redheads. The other thing I get is that there might be some kind of either mediator, someone who's the temperance. 2 of Wands. Yes, you're trying to move towards. You're making a plan to go towards a different direction, but it means leaving someone else. And again, I'm just drawn to the way that this window. Again, this deck is so poignant. You can look at these. That's actually the intention of the deck, is that each one of these cards, you can really, like a piece of art, you can kind of pour over it. You can really study it, and you'll find something new every single time. The other thing one thing I never noticed before is that this is a very traditional 3 of Swords, but you notice how there's little, it looks like it's falling. Wow, I never noticed that. There's a speed, like something. I'm hearing, I'm sorry, pile 1, I'm hearing bottom dropped out. The bottom dropped out. But you know what? I almost feel like that's kind of financial. Like maybe you were left holding the bag, or maybe you and the other persons involved are left holding the bag. I don't know where that's coming from. I'm hearing that. But the honeybees, I always see bees as such a good omen, because they are hardworking, but they do also sting. Right? And honey is that sweetness in life, what gives you pleasure in life, what all the hard work is for. And I don't think that you're seeing much of the honey. I see that it's going to feel a little stinging, and you're going to feel like you're working, but just know that that hard work is not for naught. You are working it out. And, by the middle of the week, it might really feel like a hump day. It really might feel like a hump day, but good things are coming. Now, this is beautiful, guys. By the weekend, you got the star. And this is a gorgeous star, guys, because look, she's wearing a white dress, which means purity. It means redemption, like an angel, right? And what she's looking through this is an old sailor's compass. It's called a sextant. It's sextant, I believe. And it's the way that sailors in this like 1700s would look at the North Star and chart their course. And what you'll see is there's rocky seas, right? They're going up and down, but there's a seagull here, which means land is near. You also see that there's a star ahead, and look how steady she is. This is you, pile 1. By the end of the week, you are looking ahead. You are charting your course, and we saw that, the 2 of Wands. Yeah, 5 of Swords. Damn. I feel like you got somebody kind of on your neck. The Moon. Yeah, I'm seeing a Queen of Swords. Normally the Queen of Swords is my girl, but she can be... it's interesting. The Hermit flipped over. Yeah, it talks about grounding yourself. Just ground yourself. The other thing is there's a star. There's a star. So just follow the North Star. There's a beautiful Bruno Mars song that talks about talking to the moon. It's like talking to the moon. I'm not a good singer, sorry guys. But and it's more of a romantic song, but it can be used, that same imagery. Talk to the North Star. Wish on the North Star, Here we go. I'm going full. Okay, here we go. An American Tail. We're going to go full fifle with this. What's that? Somewhere, what is there? I'll, you know what? I will post the video below. I'll post both of them, Bruno Mars and the fifle song. It's like, somewhere out there, someone's loving me tonight. And again, this doesn't have to be romantic. But just know that the universe loves you. Your spirit guides love you. Your passed over ancestors love you. God loves you. You know, whatever your religious belief, they have your back. And, you know, by the end of the week, those seas are rocking your boat. Your boat is rocking. But just know you're wearing pure white like an angel. And you're charting your course and you're close to land. You're going to get close. You're going to feel like there's hope. And the other thing is get rooted, because here you also see another bird. You know, get rooted, you know, and you see another star. You see in that lantern. You know what I'm also getting, guys, is that if you start to feel shaken by what's going on, either go outside and look at the North Star, look at that star, look at it, wish on it, tell the star what you want. Look at it and know that all humans are stardust. The same as above, so below. Which is very magician concept. We didn't get the magician here, but the same molecules that make up the star make up you. So everything that occurs, the supernovas, so that North Star is your compass. You are headed the right direction, and don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. It's also telling you just kind of chart your course. All you have to do is make sure that your boat, because you know how when storms roll in, when things get rocky, sometimes you can get blown off course. But all you have to do is just know that you're following the right direction and keep your boat in that direction. You are going to go up and down. You might get a little seasick, but just try to stay rooted. And then I love your oracle card, guys, because it says lay back, watching clouds. Lay back, rest, and relax. And here, guys, I'll go ahead and I'm telling you, the other day I went for a walk, and I was finishing up. I was coming to the end of my circuit. I do this little walk around my neighborhood, and I saw clouds moving, and it was so pretty. It was just like the most peaceful thing. It calmed my soul. So I think, you know, and here, look, guys, you got a little sailboat on calm seas. So if you're on that boat, you know what I'm almost seeing is I'm seeing imagine that you're in that hammock. If you start to get really unnerved, just kind of ground yourself, kind of daydream, trying to imagine that the seas are calm, and just stay your course. That's what I'm hearing. Stay your course. By the end of the week, just know that, you know, if things are uncomfortable, if things feel a little bit rocky, you feel like your boat's throwing you all around, just look through the gauge of the direction you want to go. Just make sure you're on course. And then do try to rest and relax. I know that's really hard to do, especially when you got the Nine of Swords coming up in a read. But if nothing else, just kind of ground yourself in that hermit energy. Just kind of just maybe even meditate, because the hermit is a meditation kind of card. But that's good energy, guys, and I think things are going to feel a lot better. I think you're going to feel like maybe it is just a rough work week, and by the end of the week you're just feeling like, okay, you know, just keep going, just keep on trucking. All right, so deck number 2, we got the Morgan Greer Tarot. I love this deck. This deck speaks to me. All my decks do, but this one is special because this is the deck I formally learned tarot on. And if you caught the intro, I'm wearing a sea glass necklace, and we have a beautiful piece of sea glass here. And it's funny, I have a whole jar of sea glass, but this piece just, I feel like, pairs with this deck so well. It has good juju. It has good energy. All right, so deck number 2. What's our energy for the week? Still got that Bruno Mars song from deck 1 in my head. Talking to the moon. Sorry, I don't think I'm supposed to sing on YouTube. All right, let's go ahead. So deck number 2, what's your energy for the week? Okay, now tapped out. Okay, got some swords. Ooh, we got 2 4s. Star in the 3rd position again. Holy Toledo. And look at this, 8 of Wands. Woo! We might have some cross watchers. We might have some cross watchers. Justice. My lady. Hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Or I'm also, you know what, I'm hearing, gosh, I'm getting music. I'm hearing, that's crazy. I'm hearing like a mashup of both Hello, Lionel Richie, and Hello, what's that first opening line by Adele? Hello, it's me. Da, 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 da. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hearing that's crazy. You know, the funny thing is I'm not even hearing the lyrics. I'm hearing the melody. I'm hearing the actual music notes. Whew. All right. Tread thoughtfully. Yeah. Okay, guys. Again, we'll go ahead and put my little opalite dragonfly. Look how happy this guy looks on this deck. Okay, first off, okay, just got to tell you, because, okay, you see how there's this beautiful mandala? And look at this. This is my opal dragonfly, and look how happy he looks on that. Just good chi. Good chi. Good chi. All right. I love how he kind of like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm a grown woman, and I'm easily amused. All right. Pile 2. Let me get a sip of tea. Let me get a sip of tea. Serendipity, sip of tea. All right. I'll post that Adele song because I'm getting quite a bit of music here. But now first off, we got 2 4s here, and it's funny. I was thinking about this in the intro. I was talking about astrology signs, and going into next week. The beginning of the week, the moon is going to be in Aries, but by the middle of the week, the moon is going to be in Taurus. And that's going to be a huge freaking deal because first off, I think that's a full moon. I think that's opposing the sun in Scorpio. And then the Mercury is in Scorpio. And then the Saturn is in Aquarius. So we are going to have a 3-way square. And for some reason, when I see 4s, I think of that. I think of a square because there's 4 corners to a square. I also think of the 4, when you saw like, it's like the 4 corners of a house, the 4 pillars of the foundation. It's very stable, and that is fixed energy in my head. It's in astrology, they refer to that as there's the 3, I never say this right. Triplicities, which is cardinal, which is the leaders, which are the like Cancer, Aries, Libra, my chart. And then the mutable is the communicators, which are like the Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgos. But the fixed, like in the world card, are the get it doners, and that's the fixed energy. And when I see 4s, I think of that because it's not only it's get it done, but when you see it like this, especially in tarot, and especially with the 4 of Swords, 4 of Cups. But let's get into it. Let's do this. So beginning of the week, there's a lot of mental energy. And the beginning of the week can be starting this weekend, right? It goes from Saturday to Saturday. So this doesn't necessarily have to be your Monday. It's kind of the beginning of your week. But what you see here is you have the 2 of Swords, and underneath it you have the 4 of Swords. That's very contemplative energy. But what I'm getting here is the 4 of Swords is really about, the 4 of Swords talks about necessary recoup, like rest and relaxation. Like there is nothing, if you get a chance, check out my How to Tarot. It's a playlist here on my channel. If you check out the How to Tarot for the 4 of Swords, it goes over it very well. There's basically, I always call it like in boxing, I call it you're going to your corner card. There's nothing else you can do in this round. You need to go to your corner and get the squeegee bottle of water. You need to get, hot towel. There's nothing you can do, right? And this is kind of being, there's some kind of situation that you're feeling really strongly about, but on the surface, you're just kind of like mentally, you're pushing down emotions. You're making, but underneath the surface, there is something bubbling. But there's nothing you can do about it right now. Like, you feel kind of stuck. And what I'm kind of getting here is that the universe is kind of telling you, you kind of know you have to go to your corner, right? There's in the How to Tarot, we talked about this. When you see the Four of Swords come out, there's really no use trying to go to battle because you're not going to get anywhere, right? Like, it's one of those things where the best way I can describe it is like, like, I've had friends who've had like court cases, and you know how you sit at home and you're thinking about what you're going to say to the judge, but you're not sitting in front of the judge yet, right? Until you're sitting in front of the judge, until the event actually occurs. This could be a conversation. The other thing is, this is swords. This could be like a conversation that you want to have with someone that you keep running over and over and over again in your head. This is about rumination. But what I'm kind of seeing here is that there's no sense ruminating. There's no sense. The other thing I kind of get is that you're almost pushing this down. You're telling yourself, okay, I'm feeling something under the surface, but there's no way that I can verbally talk about this. There's nothing I can verbally do. So you're mentally suppressing it. That's what I'm really getting. And this could be a conversation that you need to have with someone, and maybe you're just running over it over and over and over again in your mind, but there's nothing you can do. You're not going to see this person. You're not ready to have that conversation yet. And sitting there and doing the little hamster wheel, running around is not going to really, all it's going to do is wear you out. And that's what I'm kind of sensing here. But the other thing is that it's bubbling under the surface. You have the feels, but it's almost like your mind is trying to shut down the feels. There's something that your mind is trying to kind of shut down or put on the back burner, but if it's really kind of boiling to the surface, it's bubbling to the surface. Almost like a cork, when you push a cork down in water, it pops up. The other thing is that it pops up somewhere else. So I'm really kind of seeing this energy. One other way I can kind of see this is maybe you're trying not to worry about something. Maybe you're trying to take a break from something, or you're trying to give yourself a mental break. But the more you push down, the more you try to not worry about it, it seems to come to the forefront of your mind. The other thing I kind of get is that it might be popping up in weird ways, because sometimes that happens. You might be seeing, like, if you're worried about someone, maybe you're starting to see their birth date on the clock, or maybe you have a nickname for this person. Maybe you call them, I know my mom has a nickname. I call her Mama Duck. So sometimes when I'm thinking about her, I'll see a duck, a mama duck, So there might be stuff going on like that, but I'm really getting that there's something under the surface that you're kind of putting on the back burner. It might be popping up kind of unexpectedly in your psyche and your subconscious. It could be showing up as dreams, because this person is kind of sleeping. You might be having some lucid dreams. And there's also a moon here. But it's almost like you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, that was powerful. But you might even want to try to write down the symbols that you're seeing in dreams. That might really try to help you kind of understand what your subconscious is churning up and churning over. Now, by the middle of the week, you got another 4. But it's interesting, this 4 is the 4 of Cups. And one other thing about the 4s or fixed energy, it's very stubborn energy. And I will say that if you do have any fixed in your chart, if you have any Aquarius, any Taurus, any Scorpio, if you have Scorpio, you're feeling it this week, and any Leo. If you have any Leo, you might be a little bit of the odd man out, because the Leo is probably getting beat up this week because all of the planets are in. It's like there are no planets in Leo in the sky right now. Everything is in, planets that square your Leo or oppose it. So it's in either Aquarius, which opposes Leo, or squares it with Taurus and Scorp. But what I'm seeing here is that I see you being really kind of lethargic, not lazy, but when I look at the Four of Cups, especially this Four of Cups, you see how much greenery is around him. The other thing is that you might be out in nature. What I really see is that he has 3 upright cups in front of him, and he's being offered another one, and nothing appeals. Nothing appeals. And goodness knows, that is a stubborn energy, and I'm not calling you, I'm not, pile 2, I'm not calling you stubborn. Believe me, I've been there. I know this is a funny energy, because what it is what it is. What it is, let me tell you what it is. It is where when you want something, but you can't have it, or there's a problem and you can't address it, you can't fix it, you start to get wickedly kind of, what's the word? You start to get wickedly kind of picky about stuff, and that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm seeing is, you see here, it's almost like you mentally, you're justifying something in your mind, you're feeling something, and you can't have what you want. So you're justifying, you're rationalizing, you're saying, okay, I can't do this right now. I know I'm feeling it. It's okay. I know I'm feeling it. And then by the middle of the week, it's almost like, it's one of those things when you had your heart set on something and you don't get what you want, the universe could offer you everything else, right? Like maybe you wanted a car and you wanted just a Toyota, right? You just wanted a Toyota car. You don't get the Toyota, and then the universe comes up and it's like, how about a Porsche? How about a Mercedes? And you're just like, no. I wanted what I wanted. What I wanted wasn't that bad. It was cheaper than your Mercedes. It was cheaper than your Porsche. Why didn't I get what I wanted, right? That's the kind of energy of the Four of Cups. And it's not trying to be vindictive. It's not like that. It's not like that, because believe me, I know. And underneath it, you see you got justice. And what it is that, you know what it is it's you going, this isn't fair. I wanted this. That's all I wanted. Why am I not allowed to have what I wanted? It's just, but the universe is trying to give you something better. And so the thing with the Four of Cups is that you have a hand popping out of a cloud giving you something good, offering you something good. But you're just a little bit jaded. You're a little bit jaded. You wanted the other thing, and you have to pretend like you didn't get what you wanted, and you have to pretend like you're okay with that, and you're not. You're not okay with it. And it does. And it's okay. It's okay to be in that energy sometimes. But what we always want to just recognize is that there's a saying in card reading, there's a saying in spirituality that says sometimes when we start to want to control how things come to us, right? We get so narrow-minded. We say, okay, I wanted what I wanted. You didn't give it to me, and now I'm just gonna, almost like a upset little kid. I'm gonna pout because I didn't. And pile number 2, I'm not saying you're like a spoiled kid. No, I don't get that vibe at all. I actually get that you're a very hardworking person, and you don't ask for much. And it's one of those things when you get when you don't ask for much and all you wanted was something so simple. All you wanted was something so simple. then you do kind of get into that phase of just like, well, I just want to be left alone. You know what I almost hear? It's my party, I'll cry if I want to. You know what? I work so damn hard, and you can offer me replacement things, right? Now, if on a more mild sense, this could be a replacement thing. Maybe you really wanted something, you had your heart set on something, and it got sold out, or, the company's trying to offer you a replacement, and you're just like, it's not the same. That's what I'm getting. It's not the same. But I do get the sense like the universe is trying to give you justice. But what I will say is this. If you feel like you are really in that mood, you are entitled to be in that mood. You're allowed. You're allowed. It's almost like I am allowed. I wanted what I wanted. I didn't get what I wanted. It's unfair. Judge me. Just come at me, bro. And I don't think that anybody would judge you harshly. I think they would see that, okay, you didn't get what you wanted, and I'm sorry. Now, the other way I can kind of read this is that sometimes we do get a little narrow focused, and this is actually a creative visualization principle as well. If you've ever read Rhonda Byrd's The Secret, they call it a purchase order. When you ask the universe for something, like maybe you've been renting and you want a house, you want your own house. Imagine what the house looks like. Imagine what all the little nuances that would make you so happy. And then just let it go. Let it go and let the universe fill that purchase order. Now, sometimes that purchase order takes a little while because the universe has to take steps on your behalf. And justice is a major, right? It's a major card. It's not a minor. So here you are in your human state, and it's going to try to give you justice. So, and sometimes that, they even say, justice, the long arm of the law. It takes a little while, right? It might take a while to give you justice, but those gears are turning. But all you have to do is you have to imagine what you want, appreciate it, and let the universe bring it to you. If you start trying to control, how it comes to you, then that almost like static on a radio wave, like when you listen to the radio and there's a lot of static, that causes interference because the universe wants to give you exactly what you're asking for, but you got to let go of the reins. The other thing is that if the universe is offering something to you, you might want to pull yourself out a little bit just to look at it. Because sometimes you see the hollow look in their eyes. It's almost like they're not even looking at the cup that's being offered. So there might be, and it might look a little different than what you expect. What's being offered to you might look different than what you're anticipating. But try not to control it. Definitely, I empathize. If you're in that mood, and believe me, I've been in that mood. I know how you feel. I know how you feel, and you're allowed to feel that way. I don't think the Four of Cups is a spoiled card at all. I don't. A lot of times it's like I worked so hard for this relationship. I worked so hard for that promotion. I worked so hard for, this recognition, and it wasn't given to me. And you can offer me all sorts of other consolations, and it doesn't feel the same, and I'm allowed to be just kind of like, meh. Like, yeah, that's nice, thank you. I wanted what I wanted. Why didn't I get what I wanted? But I do see that it might be worth your while to just kind of really just look at the cup. You don't have to accept the cup, but just really look at it. Don't look past it, because this might be your justice. This might be you getting what you've been wanting. It just might come in a different kind of envelope than you were anticipating. Now, by the end of the week, you got some gorgeous energy. Now, first off, you got more greenery, guys. Look at how much green is in the background of all these cards. It looks so bright and sunny, and that's really wonderful, guys. The other thing I am noticing, the clouds. Sometimes the clouds in Lenormand kind of mean cloudy thoughts. Like, you're not sure if you should go for that, right? But by the end of the week, you got the Star. And you got the Eight of Wands. That's like all systems go. It's like, green light go. Let's do this, right? Now, you might be a little guarded about this, but what's happening is you're going to feel, by the end of the week, you're really going to feel like you're starting afresh at something. One other way I can kind of read it is that if you were disappointed by something, if you really felt, the other thing is I feel like you're almost like emotionally tied to something. Um, that song, the heart wants what it wants. It's a Selena Gomez song, and it's a sad one. It's like, sometimes when you hold on to something, and there's a reason why you're feeling what you're feeling. You're holding on to something, but there's no amount of mental override to that. You can tell yourself, oh, you don't want that. That's not the right thing for you. Here, go ahead and accept this cup. And in the inside, you're just like, I wanted what I wanted. Why was what I wanted not the right thing? But by the end of the week, you're going to kind of feel like you're going to feel a little bit more free. And I do think, and you do see water here, and you see like two pictures, right, on land and on water. So I almost kind of see like maybe you are kind of balancing this out. Maybe you are kind of, what I see with this is that if you meet the universe halfway, and that's the star, right? The star is good things. It's there's hope in this. There's something coming that is good, right? But the star really talks about if you surrender a little bit. That's the other thing about the star. It is a little bit of surrender. I always say the star follows the tower. The tower is like the storm. It's like the hurricane that picks up your house and takes all of your belongings, but it leaves you alive, right? And then it leaves you with a clean slate. You can rebuild. You can start something new. You can move to another state and do something completely different. There's hope in your situation. But what I see here is that by the end of the week, you are going to let go. You're going to let go of a little bit of that expectation. And you're going to surrender to the universe a little bit. You're going to wish on that star. And this is really beautiful energy, guys, because there's a saying in card reading that always says, um, that says, I'm sorry, my train of thought derailed. When you surrender, if you just say, please bring me the solution that is for my best good. Like what is the best solution? What will give me, again, like creative visualization, just imagine the end game. If you want that house, imagine what that house looks like. Be grateful for it, and then just let that go and let the universe fill that order for you. If it's a loving, supportive relationship, if it's someone who doesn't play games with you, someone who doesn't confuse you, someone who's honest and sincere and reliable and there for you, just imagine those characteristics in somebody, and then let it go and let the universe fill that purchase order, right? Just like you're ordering stuff off the internet. That's how the universe works. It really works that way, like wishing on a star. I promise you, it works that way. It does. You just have to kind of like let the universe do it. And sometimes, almost like delivery, sometimes it's stuck in a traffic jam, but it will get to you. And when it finally arrives, you got to recognize, oh my gosh, it arrived. Maybe that's what's happening in the middle of the week. Maybe you're finally getting something that you wished for a while ago, right? And it's finally arriving. But I do see full speed ahead. You got the Eight of Wands. It's like all systems go by the end of the week. Something that you're really wishing for. The other thing I kind of get is that I really feel like you're in tandem. Like you're moving with the energy of the universe. And again, if this is a loving, healthy, long-term relationship that you want, imagine what that looks like. They always say in feng shui, they talk about like if you're single and what you want is you want a loving, long-term relationship, buy a full-size bed, get 2 nightstands, fill the other nightstand with things that you would imagine your ideal partner having or using. It's almost like you imagine them into being. And when you get into that zone, when you get that your energy in tandem, the other thing is when you clear out and make space for, if you let go of some of this emotional, if you say, okay, I didn't get what I want, but let's see I didn't get what I want, but let's see if I can get what I need, right? And by the end of the week, I think you're almost seeing that. Now, but what I'm seeing is with your card, your oracle card, you got narrow pathway. And you see it's kind of beautiful. It's like this wooden bridge through the mountains, right? It says tread thoughtfully. Thoughtfully. And what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a lot of emotions overriding your thoughts. And energy follows thought. Like your thoughts are your thoughts and your feelings go hand in hand with one another, and that's what brings you this this connection you're looking for. So I would say just, mind your thoughts, because energy follows thought. Imagine what you want. Imagine what you want and turn it over to the universe, because I think the universe really, you got two majors. The universe wants to give you what you want. And I think that I definitely see by the end of the week, moving into the weekend, I feel like you're really in tandem, like you're getting your energy in tune. But I do also think that you almost have to kind of balance it, because that energy does kind of creep back in of, well, but I wanted this other thing, why didn't I get it? And again, that's putting static in your purchase order, right? So tread thoughtfully, kind of walk the line. The other thing is kind of walk the line between your thoughts and your emotions. And I know that's really hard because, I'm a Libra Cancer chart. So that's always really hard for me. I can't do both. Okay, so pile number 3. Let's go ahead. You got the Vice Versa Tarot. And it was so neat. The last deck got the 8 of Wands. This deck does not have a formal card back. The back of it is the reversal of the card. So it's one of those things where you have to read it that way. So I always note the top card because that's what's showing. So, but you have the 8 of Wands on the top, and maybe that's what attracted you to pick the deck, But all right, guys, we have the 2 of Pentacles trying to pop out too, but what's the beginning? Okay, deck number 3. What's our energy for the week? Beginning of the week, please. Ooh. Okay, Sun reversed. Middle of the week. Ah, that's nice. That's cool. Please clarify. Try to get one up right. There we go. Okay. That's a good clarification. Alrighty then. And then end of the week. Okay. I'm making note of our flippers here. Okay. End of the week. I saw like the Page of Cups and the Lovers. So. Oh, and that happened again. Lovers flipped again. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. We got 2 6s. Okay, please. 1. Ooh, okay. 2 of Cups. Oh, I'm drawn to all 3 of these guys. I'm sorry. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. And then this is interesting. We got the 8 of Wands reversed. Okay. All right. Queen of Cups is on the top. So if you're a male watching this, this might involve like a water sign woman. If you are female, then you might be the water side. Traveling lightly. Simplify your life. Okay. Alrighty then. Wow, this is pretty straightforward. Now, okay, so beginning of the week, you've got the Sun card, but you got it reversed. And this is actually quite beautiful because the Sun, the traditional Sun shows like a baby on horseback, right? In a field of sunflowers. Here on the reverse, you kind of have, what is it? It's not a monolith, but it looks like somebody, you see mountains in the background and you see kind of like an all-seeing eye. And then, so I kind of read this one of 2 ways. I feel like over the weekend and the beginning of the week, I feel like, okay, first off, okay, I can kind of read this one of 3 ways because looking at the energy of the rest of the week, Pile 3, this is one of a few ways that I can read this. First is that you're trying to be happy, but it feels like a little dulled, like a little bit of dull happiness. And I'll go ahead and relate it just real quick. I'll relate it. It's funny. I have very few fire planets in my chart, but my Saturn, which is a really heavy placement, is in Leo in the 10th house, which is ruled by Saturn, right? And what that happens is it's like sometimes it's hard for me to play, right? And it's so funny. I know, like, my sister has a lot of Leo in her chart, like in her Mars and in her Sun. And my mom has a Venus in Leo. And when they wear gold, like, gold is like the Leo element. When they wear gold, it's always shiny and bright, like Kate Middleton when she went to the James Bond premiere. It's like whoo, just disco diva gorgeous, right? But I can never wear shiny gold. Like, it looks garish on me. It looks beautiful on my mother and my sister, but it doesn't look right on me. I always have to wear muted gold. And it's almost like, muted gold is almost like putting a cloud over the sun, right? It's like a serious kind of, vellum version of the sun, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And that's what I see when I see the sun in reverse. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. But when you look at it in the reverse, it's almost like you want to be happy. It's almost like you're trying to teach yourself how to play, but you've got these guards watching you. You got a mountain, which represents challenge. You've got this like wall. You got this all-seeing eye watching you. So pile 3, I'm kind of getting this one of a few ways. First way I read it is that maybe you don't like me. You're trying to teach yourself how to play. Like, okay, the weekend's here. Let's go have some fun. Okay, what's that? Right? You might be having one of those weekends where you really want to have fun, but you just either don't know how, or you just, again, it's like muted gold. Like, there's this veil over that's dulling your shine, and you don't know why. You don't know why. Maybe it's kind of a mood. Maybe it's because maybe you really are a serious personality, and it's just kind of hard for you to play. Like, I'm getting almost like you want to lighten up, but it's kind of hard, right? The other way I can read it is that maybe you know how to play, you know how to have a good time, but you might have people who are kind of watching you. Because you see, like, this looks almost kind of sentient, like sentinels, like guards are watching you, right? Like the all-seeing eye. It does. It kind of looks like a prison. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a prison yard. The other thing I kind of get is with that all-seeing eye and with those stars. I know this is a weird interpretation, but I gotta say it. I gotta say it, guys. Maybe you are a lighthearted person. Maybe you are a jovial, happy person, but you might have someone like stalking your social media. Like, okay, you can go be happy, but if you step one step out of line, if you get a little too happy and post that picture of you on the sideline at the football game, someone's gonna call you up and chew you out or blow up your phone with text messages. Or one other way I can kind of see it is that, like, maybe someone's kind of like watching what you do. Now, sometimes this can be work related. I mean, not to sound funny, but if you've been kind of doing things online, and I can say this from a personal perspective too. It's extremely strange to have someone who likes to read cards in their free time. I'm a weirdo. Like Gonzo from Sesame Street. I'm a freaking weirdo. But you know what? In the last 2 years, it's given me spiritual peace. I've helped others. I'm almost to 300 beloved subscribers here on my channel, and love you guys. Sending blowing kisses. And by doing what I do, it draws a little bit of attention because of course I'm on YouTube. I've got an Instagram account that's not even under my personal name, you know. So sometimes people might be looking at her like, okay, what's she talking about now? What kind of out there, outer space, alien, strange stuff is she talking about? It could be that. And because the sun rules your ego, right? It rules your sense of self. Like, you know, when you watch my channel, here's Shelly, here's soul symbols. Look at her, you know. But then, you know, you might, and it's funny. I'm not speaking from personal experience in that regard. I've never had anybody say, "Oh, how dare you?" And it's funny, you know. I have some pretty. I have family members that I'm a little shy to mention this to because I don't want them to think that I'm sacrilegious, right? You know, but they respect what I do. If it makes you happy, go do what makes you happy. But here I'm kind of seeing the opposite of that. I'm seeing like someone almost kind of watching you and what you do. And it could be social media related where they're almost kind of like, again, like I'm seeing like soldiers watching you as you do your YouTube live feed, or, you know, maybe if you do anything, you know what, I'm hearing like live feed. Like, the other thing I'm getting is like someone's watching what you say in some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not live feed, but a stream. I'm hearing stream. Yeah. They're making sure you don't say anything out of line on your stream. The other thing I get is that you have viewers that know you to be like a really lighthearted person, and it's almost like you're acting real stiff, you know, because you got someone, you know, like all of your watchers see this, but you see this, right? Now, one other way I can throw this out here, and I kind of see this as we get to the end of the week, so just to throw it out there, if you are a parent, and I am sorry guys if this is what's happening, I'm seeing a lot of kind of discord when it comes to a partnership, and I'm seeing where someone might be watching your interaction with a child. And again, I feel like I'm getting the sense of being like you're putting on a show, like you're feeling really stilted. The other thing that I get is that if this is some kind of visitation, like you're visiting your child, you want to have fun with your child. One way I can also see this is because the sun usually represents the divine masculine. If you're either the father, the mother might be kind of watching you like a hawk as you have your visitation day with your kid, or opposite, you know, maybe you have to watch someone, you know, if you feel like your ex-husband or the father of your child might be a bad influence or might be acting out of sorts, it's almost like you have to keep a close eye on their interaction with your child. And I'm sorry for that, because that's really, that's kind of sad energy. Yeah, we got the Five of Wands, the Four. I am almost, and honestly, if you are coming across as the Queen of Cups, you care the most. Yeah, you care the most about the emotional. You have an emotional stake in making sure that everybody is okay, in their feelings, right? Like you will do what you need to do to make sure that everybody stays on the emotional level, right? But so that's kind of the beginning of the week. Again, if you don't have kids, this could just be you kind of feeling like you just can't play, like you want to have fun, but it seems a little dim or dull or just overcast, or, you know, or that someone's watching you. Now, just one other way I can kind of see this is it's possible that you might want to be having fun, but you might feel like your boyfriend's watching it. Like, well, why'd you post that on Facebook? Or why'd you do this? And you're just kind of like, are you stalking me? Like, can you please just back the hell up? Can you just go over there? you know. And it makes you feel like, the other thing I kind of get is that you're putting on a happy face, but again, behind the scenes you kind of see like your view is not real pretty. And I'm sorry, pile 3. I mean, seriously, if that's what's going on, I mean, we all right now the days are kind of short, you know. So if it's just one of those things where you're just feeling a little, you know, a little blue. The other thing I can kind of get from this is that this might be the Sunday evening blues, like you're about to go into work and you want to have fun, but the work day is just looming, like I gotta get up early tomorrow, and it's like, you know. So it could just be that. It could be totally that. Now, but this is a major card, so I'm kind of feeling something heavier than that. But now the middle of the week, you got the 8 of Swords in reverse, which is really nice. That I like that energy. And underneath it, you got the 9 of Cups in the upright. So the 8 of Swords in reverse is really talking about like being mentally trapped, like, you know, like, but when it's in the reverse, you see this woman like an eagle is swooping down and she's about to cut herself free, and it's going to feel like a blessing. So if this is tied into the beginning of the week, again, if you've been kind of feeling like you're not free, or you feel like you've been kind of up in your head, or just feeling like you're trapped, and gosh, guys, sometimes that can be all in our head too. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be an outside force that's doing this, you know. You might feel like, oh, okay, you know, sometimes when you get in your head, oh, I'm going to be judged for this, or someone's going to think I'm a weirdo, or someone's going to think I'm weird, da, 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 you know, same thing here. Again, same thing. You know, I have a card channel, and, you know, what will my family think? You know, if a coworker sees one of my videos, will they be able to recognize my voice? Will they think I'm strange? Will they think, you know, it's one of those things where it's almost like the middle and the week energy is really cutting yourself free from any of that mental restriction. You are a free person. And if what you like to do serves yourself, makes you happy, and God bless you if it, you know, bless you if it serves other people too. You know, if we're all sharing in this energy, if we're all talking about what we think these symbols mean, or whatever it is that pertains to your life, that is a good thing. And that is inherently what you're here to do. That's your soul's purpose, right? We're all here to do something. And I know that sounds real woo-woo for a weekly, but I get the sense like the beginning of the week, you feel like you're being watched. You have those gray clouds, you know, again, muted gold. You don't have to be muted gold. You can be shiny gold. I actually think you look good in shiny gold, you know? And actually, you see this dude wearing some red. And just to put it out there, by the beginning, like actually right around this time, the moon is going to be going into Aries. So we got some Martian energy hitting midweek and right before a full moon too, because Scorpio was the original ruler of Mars before it became like the ruler of Pluto. And if you have any Scorpio conjunctions or any connections between your Mars and your Pluto, that's really like, that's a lot of Aries. But right now, sorry, I'll speak English. The moon is moving into Aries, and then a lot of the other planets like the sun and the Mercury, so the sense of ego and the mouth, the way you communicate, the way you view the world, is going to be in Scorpio. And that's going to be, I'm just to put it, that's going to be hella masculine. Hella masculine. Like, you know, like it's going to be like, you know, like, you know, Hades, you know, went to Vegas is kind of what I'm feeling. I'm sorry. But it's just don't give up, you know, kind of energy, you know, like, okay, let me cut myself free by the middle of the week. Now, this might, just to throw it out there, this might be a little bit of liquid courage. Now, why that's happening on a Wednesday, you know, that is up to you. Maybe you have the middle of the week off, or maybe you have some kind of, the other thing is that maybe you have some kind of work thing that you have going on that gets you away. But you see, this woman is about to cut herself free, and the eagle is about truth. Like, you see the eagle and the Ace of Swords, and this is the 8 of Swords in the reverse. It's like you're cutting yourself free, you're liberating yourself from any restrictive thoughts. And you're doing it with like almost like, like almost the Nine of Cups is almost a little bit of a cocky energy, like look at all my cups. I do get a little bit, this might be, if you imbibe, this might be a little bit of that energy, because sometimes when you've had a cup or two of your favorite adult beverage, all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, this is how I feel, and da 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 da, and what is it, that meme where it's like change my mind, where you're sitting at the table like, yes, this is what I think, change my mind. But this is, I think it's very positive, especially coming after the sun in reverse, because you're basically just liberating yourself. And again, if this was all kind of in your head, if you had some kind of self-limiting beliefs, you might be liberating yourself a little bit. And the other thing is knowing that you deserve it, right? Because this the Nine of Cups is like a surprise. It's like a special gift, right? The other thing is that you might be receiving some kind of, there might be something happening that just makes you feel a lot more mentally free. You know, this could be an interaction with a person, or something that happens during the work week, like maybe something really positive happens at work, or maybe you just have a really good Wednesday or good Thursday, and it just kind of liberates you to feel like, okay, well, um the other thing I get is that maybe if you felt like you were being watched, and you kind of just break free from that, or you get shown that, okay, that's not what's happening, you don't have to pull or cower, you're not being watched, you're okay, right? But I am almost getting like this is self-initiated, though. This is like I am almost getting like setting a boundary. Yeah, we got the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, I'm definitely getting like the, throw up the deuces, not dealing with this anymore, kind of energy. You're just going to do what you want to do in the middle of the week. You're going to liberate yourself. Now, by the end of the week, we do have some pretty strong energy. We have the Lovers in reverse, and then we have the Six of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the King of Swords and the Death card. And rooted is the Two of Cups in the reverse. So we have two partnership cards in the reverse. A Six of Wands in the reverse. So I will just come out and say it, guys. If you are dealing with someone, if you're dealing with a masculine, by the end of the week, you're going to feel like it's a little bit of a bloody battle with this person. You're going to feel like this person won. Either that, or you're going to feel like you're playing a chess game. Like you're going to feel like you're playing a chess game with this person. But whatever the reason is, and if this is, I'm getting a strong sense like someone is being controlling, guys. And I feel like with all these swords and you kind of dimming, like I'm hearing dim to fit in, like I feel like you've almost been dimming in or going along with what someone else wants you to do. And if that's a spouse or a boyfriend, I mean, I'm not seeing the Emperor, so I don't think that's a boss. Yeah, I'm getting more of like a marriage. And it doesn't have to be an actual marriage, but it's definitely a partnership. And the Sun can mean a child, because that did come up a little bit. So if you're not formally married to this person, it could be the parent of your child. And I am seeing, yeah, Seven of Cups and the Queen of Cups. I get the sense like you are just trying to do what's right in your heart. But I do kind of get like someone might be kind of trying to watch what you do, or really monitoring your social media, might be watching you with your child, or you might have to watch them with your child. And by the end of the week, what I'm seeing here with these two cups in reverse is that it's a hard won compromise, is what I'm seeing. It's a hard won compromise. This person you're dealing with knows how to play chess. They know how to manipulate mentally, and they don't care if it causes transformation. They don't care if something has to die in order to get what they want. They'll go to battle for that. So if it's a person, if you're a woman and you're dealing with this male, you might be very sensitive. Like you're very emotionally mature, but this person is very mentally adept. He knows how to he knows how to think out the situation to make it a victory for his side. Now, what I'm kind of seeing is these are two. You got a queen and a king, so those aren't pages. So what I'm getting is that, again, I'm getting like an uneasy compromise. I don't think that this is not coming easy. It's not like you're coming together because you're both equally getting your needs met. You're hashing it out. And the other thing is that and I'm sorry guys, the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups is a little bit of an odd couple. You have someone who's very emotional and very deep emotionally, and then you have someone who's very cerebral. He's not in his feels at all. He actually might seem a little callous. Like he might not be very considerate of your feelings. And again, he doesn't care what has to die in order to get what he wants. So I don't mean to badmouth this. He is in the upright, so I don't think that he's being malicious. But the other thing that I kind of get is that whoever's trying to be mentally controlling, whoever's watching or stalking social media or trying to control things, they're not going to win. The other person's going to push back. There's going to be a lot of transformation. And it's going to be one of those compromises that isn't seamless. It's going to be you give a little and they give a little. And it is almost like a little bit of a bloody victory. Like in the upright, it looks so pretty and sunny, right? But in the background, look, you see like burning clouds and blood-stained uniforms. The other thing I kind of get is that there's going to be one person who looks victorious, right? And let me see, who is that? 10 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit. Whomever is struggling financially is going to come out on top in this situation. I am kind of getting, like, this might be child support, guys. If this is child support, again, you're going to come to a compromise. It's going to be a little bit of a back and forth. It's going to be a little bit of a battle. And it's not going to be pretty. But what you have to remember is that you're of equal energy. You have to respect what this person is asking of you, and this other person has to respect what you're asking of them. But I do see a little bit of a transformation. Now, there's money here. Yeah, there's money here that it seems like one or the other of you might be a little strapped for money. But I do think, the other thing I think is that you might not be like eye to eye. Again, you've got a real emotional queen and then you've got a real cerebral king. You might not be coming to this compromise easily, but you do see that two people are holding hands in both of these cards, but these are reversed. So it's going to be a back and forth. Again, if you have someone kind of like telling you what to do or making you feel less than or stalking your social media, that might come up in the discussion. Like, okay, you need to stop that. That's something I'm not going to stand for, right? And with the Death card, you might actually see a transformation of that. Like, that person might actually, agree to... This is an interesting combination because the King of Swords and Death could either be someone who is like, I keep hearing checkmate, like making the final move to win the game, and it's done, it's over, they win. Or this person is making an effort to compromise, but that means that they have to transform. They have to let go of some of their habits. But Again, it's a hard-earned victory for both of you. For both of you. But I don't think by the end of the week this is not bad energy, it's hard-earned energy. You might actually come to a compromise with this person, but it might involve that both of you kind of give. You both have to compromise. And so, it might not entirely feel win-win to you. The other thing I get is that you got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So this is like, it's like you're trying to move forward full speed, but it's getting slowed down by these storms. It's like, I feel like you almost get electrocuted by this person or the way that they come about, or, these discussions that you have to have with someone. One other way I can see it is that there might be something, I'm seeing a lot of dark clouds where something might have come. See, we've got dark clouds, dark clouds, dark clouds. There might be something that's coming in at the end of the week that's kind of sudden. It is going to give you a victory, but it's going to be a hard-earned victory, and I'm almost getting like a tower with this Eight of Wands. Yeah, it's going to put you right into hermit mode. Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough. I think you might have something going on with a partnership by the end of the week that's gonna be a little rough. You're gonna have to compromise, or you're gonna have to really hash out something. It might be kind of a sudden discussion, something that kind of strikes out of lightning. But I do think that there's gonna be a positive resolution from this, though. I think after this is done, you're going to feel victorious, pile 3. You're going to feel like, okay, we got this finished. We got this done. It was an uneasy compromise, but we got it done. The other thing I get is that you can move forward now. It's almost like you hashing out the back and forth and like, okay, I've agreed to do this. You've agreed to do that. Let's move forward together so this gets done, gets settled, so we can do it. Right? And your oracle card really kind of reinforces this, because it says traveling lightly, simplify your life. And you see you're kind of tossing stuff in the trash bin, like you're lightening your load. And I hate to say that like that, like I'm not trying to giggle, it's not funny, but sometimes that happens. Sometimes lightening your load is just really telling someone what you really think and feel. Like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore, or it can't go on this way. That's lightening your load, right? Because you have to go on with your life. You have to continue on and do what you got to do, right? And it's funny, the Six of Wands in reverse really does almost look like you're a traveling lightly guy. But I don't think it's going to be a bad weekend. But you have 2 majors, and definitely it's relationship related, and both the relationship cards are in the reverse. So I just feel like, again, like you're trying, in order to move forward, you have to work with someone else, and it's not an easy compromise, but you will get what you need done. The other thing is that if anything needed to fall away, it will. It finally will. And again, also, you might be clearing the air. That lightning is very Tower-esque. You might be clearing the air a little bit. If this is your energy, you might be telling someone, look, do not freaking stalk my Facebook. You cannot tell me or stop looking at my online and telling me what to do. That's unacceptable to me. You're like, you're telling someone what for, and you're doing it with like very directly, But this might be a little bit of a stormy conversation, but I think it is going to have a good resolution. The other thing I get is that if you do have to cooperate with someone, again, you'll be on the same page. It's not going to be like unconscious, like you're not going to, this person is going to, there's going to be resistance, but at least you can communicate and say, okay, how can we move forward with this? What is the best solution where we don't run into these problems, moving forward. But all right, guys, wow, pile 3, that's always so deep. Always so deep, pile 3. But all right, guys, well, I thank you so much for joining me, and again, I appreciate your patience as I get the videos out. Next week I'm going to try to be really on schedule, but of course, next week's going to be a long week, so please send me good energy. I'm going to need it. But I thank you again for joining me, and we are so close to 300 subscribers. When we hit the 300 mark, I promise I will do my best to try to do something special to celebrate. So, and I'm so grateful for all of you. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.